you can use whatever kind of water you want. I'm using Brita water. One cup. And 2 cups. All that's left now is to turn the rice cooker on. So shut the lid, and we want to set the programming on this particular rice cooker. There's a programming setting for regular or sushi rice. I happen to be on it, so all I have to do is just hit the start button. And away she goes. And our rice is done at last. So you want to use your rice immediately after it's done cooking. So first thing you do is you take your and moisten it. Just want to get it nice and damp, not sopping wet, but just moisten it. There we go. And now we bring on the rice. Actually, moisten your paddle and then use it to gently loosen around the edges of the rice pot so that it makes it easier to get the rice out. Now we dump it. Now you're always going to have, at the bottom of your rice pot, you're always going to have some burned rice. That's just the nature of these rice cookers. Obviously, don't use it. Okay, so we now have our mass of rice. What do we do next? Now it's time to pour on the sushi vinegar. Now the ratio is 10:1, so 10 parts rice to 1 part sushi vinegar. I have 2 cups of rice here, so that's 1/5 of a cup. I don't know, I'm just going to eyeball it. So yeah, right about that. Now the aim here is to kind of evenly distribute it as evenly as possible. So we're just gonna kind of go right like that, nice and even. There you go. Now turn that off. The goal here now is to get it all mixed in. So you do this by using the blade of your wooden rice paddle to kind of cut the rice, break up all those clumps, and gently mix it all together. Again, you don't want to mash it all in, or else you'll have rice paste, which is not what we're aiming for here. So yeah, just gently. And I'm probably doing this wrong. I've never been trained formally in this, so there are probably sushi chefs out there going, "No!" So deal with it. So just kind of keep gently cutting in and mixing. You want to try and get all of your rice coated with the vinegar as much as possible. There we go. Now, during this period, it's traditional to have a kitchen slave, assistant, sitting there fanning your rice, because that helps it to cool down faster. Unfortunately, it's a little difficult to do here. Me just by myself and all. This not good. There's got to be a better way. Ha 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 ha! So the idea is you want to coat the rice kernels with the vinegar mixture, and to do that, just sort of gently cut the sushi rice with the blade of your paddle. Your aim here is to break up all the clumps as best you can, and gently fold in the vinegar mixture. You don't want to mix it too vigorously, or else you'll end up with, well, rice paste, which is not what we're aiming to do here. Now, disclaimer, I have never been professionally trained at this, so I'm probably doing this wrong, or at least badly. So professional sushi chefs out there are probably watching this going, no! So you'll have to deal with that. But this is kind of sort of more or less what to do. Now, when you've got the rice kernels fairly well coated with the vinegar mixture, you're going to want to let this cool, because it's still way too hot. Sushi rice, the ideal serving temperature is about body temperature, and this is still pretty rocket hot, so you're definitely going to want to let this cool down. But you don't want to let the rice kernels dry out. So what you do is you take a towel, a damp towel, again, damp, not dripping wet, and just cover your sushi rice with it until it's cooled down to the appropriate temperature. Okay, so now we're ready to go. Not quite. We need to make some temizu, or hand vinegar. You're going to be handling sticky rice, and if your hands are dry, well, the rice will stick to you, which is bad. If your hands are wet, on the other hand, the rice will get wet and soggy, and the consistency will just be wrong, and ugh. So you want your hands to be damp, not wet. And what sushi chefs do is they make what's called hand vinegar, which is, if you want to be precise about it, about 10 parts water to 1 part vinegar. But what I do is I just get a big old bowl of water and just dump a little vinegar in it. It's close enough for government work. And so there you go. And again, you want your hands to be damp but not wet. So you'll see sushi chefs go, dip their hands in it and go like that, basically knocking most of the water off their hands. That no, they're not applauding for you. So put your ego away. So we're ready to go. Got my hand water, rice, got my inari, which I've cut open, and a plate to put the finished product on, albeit a cheesy plastic one. Let's do it. So again, damp but not wet. Grab a handful of rice, fairly good handful of rice. About a palm-sized amount of rice, and grab one of these inari pouches. They'll have a side that's open, and so you'll want to open it up like so, and stuff the rice into it. Right, like that. Boom, there you have it. Like I said, pretty simple, pretty easy to do, fairly inexpensive, great to do with a group of friends when you've got the latest, the latest DVD of whatever just came in. Again, just sort of find your opening here. Grab a fairly good-sized portion of rice and stuff it in. And again, I've never been trained professionally, so real sushi chefs are probably going, oh, that stupid baka gaijin. So, but hey, it still tastes good. One quick note, when you're done with your uke, just rinse it with water, loosen any rice kernels that got stuck to it, dry it thoroughly, and store it in a cool, dry place. If properly taken care of, your uke will last quite a long time. So, I hope you've enjoyed our first Otaku no Podcast videocast. Definitely going to be doing some more, so keep your eye on the feed, and we'll see you next time.